ain't even tried. Not cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go online and like, I just try to read everything I see online and then write my own interpretation. If that makes sense. And when I did my math, it was just straight definitions. I literally went to the dictionary and did that. Yeah. And tried to put it into perception. But like when it comes to the alphabet, be or born is kind of self-explanatory in the dictionary. I kind of wanted to get at that. It's 9 stages, and being born being born are 2 different things, and it was kind of, this is a little harder to do the math to me. Mm-hmm. Just because I didn't want to just go there and say, oh, I learned this from the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go there and get all of these definitions, and what is that? What am I learning? You know, you say that a lot in your lectures. Like, memorization is not the culture. It's not what we're doing here. So I didn't want to just go memorize these parts, because I know the lessons have to be memorized.
Yeah, but see, you gotta just memorize that part, because it's the categorization part first.
Right.
So you gotta know what each one of those things is, just as a definition, so you could recognize them in a situation. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, that's a common you know, issue with anything, where you got to find out, all right, what's the real foundation? What is the cause of this thing happening? You know what I mean? So you could really do something about it. But, you know, right now, the things you got to do is first get the definition of the word, like you did. Right? Then you get the principle of what it is. what you was starting to go into when you was talking about the 9 stages.
Right.
Right? And then you add the experience of what it is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But, you know, right now, yeah, that's what you starting with. Just the definitions. You don't gotta be fancy.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, as long as you know what it is, you good.
You know, and then I see things, you know, just from I did a lot of reading before. As you saw last time I was here, I knew about the mayor and giving the building and everything. I did my due diligence before I just say, oh, I want to join something. You know what I'm saying? I did do the work. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, with Allah, do I write arm, leg, arm, head? Am I supposed to know that yet? Should I not know that yet? You know, it's like, what should I don't want to jump ahead and just, you see what am I making sense? Where I don't want to go over and say, oh, I know that already, when I don't really know it. I want to learn it slowly the way I'm supposed to.
But I mean, yeah, that's, you know, Allah is the proper name of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, all of that counts. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at a word, right? Sometimes it got 2 or 3. That's just the nature of English.
Right.
That's not really the nature of the mathematics. That's the nature of English. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you got one word and 1,000 definitions. You understand what I'm saying? Now, that's why we also deal with the etymology.
Right.
So you deal with the historic science of it, right? Because then you got the definition, right? But then you got the usage of the word. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you know, when you get into the roots and the suffixes and the prefixes, right? You take a word like terrible, right? And terrific really got the same root,
right?
Which is terror.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But one has become known as good and one has become known as bad. You see what I mean? Or full and some.
Same thing.
Yeah, one is supposed to leave you full of ore and one leaves you with some ore, right? But one is known as good and one is known as bad because of the way we use it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, there's a whole bunch of words.
I just knew it's a whole different way of thinking than I've been conditioned to think. And I'm just not trying to, you know what I mean, just regurgitate things that oh, I know this and I know that. Because that's not the real, that's what I mean.
You see, even these words that we use, right? You got to realize that we're, you know, translating the principle into the English language for the purposes of communication. Right? But we don't even have to do that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like everything in the way the earth rotates around the sun, right? It's supreme mathematics.
Right.
You don't use no words to do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Just energy.
Yeah.
Just energy. It's dope.
What is here? We got Kasim Shabazz, Light Visible, Wise You, Felix Almanzar, Wise Prince, Divine Truth. It's in the building here. You know, we just got to pause when Divine Truth comes in. 7, Knowledge of Allah, Knowledge Born, Smoked Hour, True Self, SW. You know, I've been watching the videos on Infinite's channel. You know, it's intriguing. You know, it's very interesting to me because it's like the last 2 of them that I watched, right? It was almost like I was doing an impression of certain guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, you know, that's like such right, you know, this brother or that brother, like, you know, different brothers that influenced me over the years. I could see their influence in those 2 videos. That was bugged out to me. You know what I'm saying? But as I was watching them, you know, I got an announcement to make. I'm changing my name. My new name is JoJo Dancer. But you can't call me JoJo. Can't call me Dancer. You gotta call me JoJo Dancer. Is one word like Wise. Some people, if they don't know me like that, they gotta call me Mr. Dancer. But other than that, it's JoJo Dancer.
Mr. JoJo Dancer?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Bond Supreme. Now, I know y'all see veganism in the title. Really, it's not clickbait. What it is, I'm trying to see if I can stop them from putting the ham sandwiches, the ham sandwich commercials on the videos. Did anybody have to see a ham sandwich when they came in today? Or did I take care of that? You gotta know how to work the algorithm. AllahChrist. Been a minute. Complete out of luck. Did that work? Putting veganism in the title right there. Are they still putting commercials for ham sandwiches on my you got a lot. But I don't know, I guess I get my rant out of the way. Early. People probably got stuff to do. You know. A lot of things that's recently been coming to my attention. It appears that what all of it has in common is rap music. Like just across the board, the last couple of months, how things go left. The common denominator is rap music. Now, I don't think that hip-hop at all is the problem. This is not a rap group. That's the title to it. You see, because, listen, I see that there may be some confusion that has occurred, right? Because, we've, individuals that have been involved with this or influenced by this, when you look up, at different people put their top 5 lists. A lot of times there's some affiliation with the 5%, from Rakim to Wu-Tang, Big Daddy Kane, Just Ice, Brand Nubian. He's not really affiliated with us, but even Jay-Z, put our flag on to try to create some type of affiliation with us. You know what I'm saying? So from the very beginnings, you've seen presence of the 5%. You've seen a presence of language that originated with us. You know what I'm saying? Coming out on records. And so, maybe some people have mistaken their love and participation in the culture of hip-hop with their participation in the culture of the 5%. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know, whatever. If that's how I see, look, you know, I came in tune with with the knowledge in high school. Like not just during the high school period of my life. I'm saying inside the building. That's where I first saw the mathematics at. You see what I'm saying? But this is not the Board of Education. And the Board of Education is not this. See, everybody that was there in that building on that day is not a 5%. Everybody that walked past, if we having a cipher in front of the school, everybody that walked past and heard a couple of words or whatever, or they might have stopped, you know, and said peace to one of us, that didn't make them one of us. See, this is something that's getting confused, you know, and, you know, I'm starting to see what's happening, man. This is, you know, this is a product of, you know, kind of hip hop era brothers, man. Where, you know, that's one of the, you know, y'all don't understand this way of life, man, and really what is the purpose of everything that we do. See, in the culture, there's a purpose for things. See, like farmers got a particular culture where certain times of the year that they do things. Like if you ask them, you know, to do something in the springtime, they're gonna tell you, nah, I can't do it now. I gotta plant my crops and shit. I got shit I gotta, you know, my schedule is already made. If a person is a fisherman and they get up at a certain time in the morning, that's because that's the time they gotta catch the fish. So the same thing with this culture, we got things that we actually do, like what you heard over there. See, look, I don't know if you might have met brothers like that. But that's how they build. You know, one brother walks up and says, what's today's mathematics, son? Knowledge God. And another brother says, true indeed, God, true indeed, God. Y equals self. True indeed, God, true indeed. That's not, you know, that's a dramatization. That's a dramatization, right? Maybe you could consider it that. But being exposed to that is not this culture. In any given thing, you know, don't mistake people for the things that they do. It's not necessarily that they something different, but I'm saying we here in New York, right, where there's dudes that you see working behind the counter at the bodega. But really, that person is a brain surgeon. Like they got actual people that they operate on their brain and they still alive. But they from a country where they degree don't count over here, so right now they work in the bodega. There's all kinds of people walking up and down that you can't take on face value. I was thinking that the media is using the word rapper to connote a delineated deviant or menace. I mean, yeah, it's a dog whistle terminology, you know what I'm saying, where they could do that by putting something on the news. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, if people get shot every day, right? But every time somebody gets shot by somebody with, let's say, an orange jacket on, they cover that. See, after a while, orange jackets will start to get a negative connotation. So we won't have to name those people no more. We could just say, yeah, you know, the types that wear orange jackets. And then who's supposed to know what they talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude blew them up a couple years ago. They had to switch up. The dude that played for the Seattle Seahawks, where they kept calling him a thug, and he said, yes, that's just a different way for you to say nigga. Right? But you could cover it up. You know, you gotta, you know, well, I ain't gonna say that's where it started, but where it starts to go into overdrive is, if you look at the campaign of Richard Nixon, where he's the first politician, right? Where, like, before that, if you was racist or whatever, you was a segregationist, right? Then you was taking a stance that was going to make some people be against you, for sure. But, you know, after the 60s, you know, you're not going to be able to just get up on stage and say nigger. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to say black people, so you got to start to find other ways to communicate that these are the people that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're going to be tough on crime. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna do something about the inner city problems. You know what I'm saying? All of these other
urban plight.
Yeah, right. All these other types of terminology start showing up to you know, to communicate to people that they talking about. I mean, you know, at this point right now, though, you know the wolf is out there, right? Everybody knows the wolf is out there. So it's one of the things where it's like, okay, are you gonna rub steak? Are you gonna rub raw steak all over you? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the wolf and the lions and the tigers is out there. So, you know, right now, you know, in terms of the, you know, hip-hop community, it's like, you know, I mean, and, you know, at the end of the day, it's not just, you know, when I say the community, right, the one group of people that escapes. Like, they talk about the executives, they talk about the rappers, and all. They never talk about the fans. See, the fact is, you can't get mad at whatever rapper if he put his music out and the people who like it buy it. You know what I'm saying? Especially today, because you don't even gotta buy it. All you gotta do is stream it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so there's some things at the end of the day that people is responding to. Like, you would say that this ain't happening or that ain't happening, but look, you know, John Singleton is a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? Where, look, he do Boys in the Hood, we make him famous. You know what I'm saying? And then he got all these other movies, right, where you know, he portrayed, you know, either the truth of what it is or portrayed us in a better light. Nobody, you understand what I'm saying? So the people gotta understand, you know, just like people talk about Facebook and Instagram, that shit is what you looking at too. Like, yeah, that's on there. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why it's coming on your screen is because that's the shit you be looking at. You know what I'm saying? See? So, you know, it's the same kind of thing, man, where, you know, right now, just, you know, yeah, people is getting caught up in that at an all-time high. You know what I mean? And kind of that's what I'm saying right now, how, you know, even from, you know, from the standpoint of our culture, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, hip-hop, you know, once kind of the difference started disappearing between the, you know, specifically the 5% rappers, right, and the 85% rappers, right, it made it easy to dissolve, you know what I'm saying, what the 5% meant within hip-hop. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, you know, Lakim Shabazz is, you know, he's projecting something, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, all of them is projecting something, you know, where they showing you that knowledge is the best part. You know what I'm saying? You know, and, you know, once you had the 5% rappers, you know, also kind of espousing that money is the best part, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, all this worldly shit right here is the best part, then, you know, like I said, that's when you start to get these people that's caught up, that come from the hip-hop era, you know what I'm saying, without, you know, just simple arithmetic, just from 1964. So hip-hop, you know, was you know, a distance away before it was formed. You know what I mean? It's not synonymous with us. It's just something that, you know, first of all, just, you know, proximity. Hip-hop is from New York. The 5% is from New York. You know what I'm saying? And anywhere that you go, whatever is the thing that the kids over there do, like if hip hop started in a particular neighborhood, right, then it's going to be a lot of kids that went to the public school in that neighborhood. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? Just by proximity. So if you know the 5% is the dominant force in New York, and something comes out of here, you know what I mean? Just like, look, you're not gonna get 100 kids to make hip hop out of LA, and none of them be blood or crip. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the proximity effect. You understand what I mean? But you know, some people are starting to get it a little bit confused. You know what I'm saying? You know, go ahead.
Do you think now that the people in charge would even let Rakim exist the way he was back then? Do you think that if it was as commercialized and really just exploited by the 10% as much as it is now, that Ra would even have a deal? Because I don't think they'd even let that out. I think the 5% absolutely terrified the record industry. I think that really fucked with their devilishment, where they couldn't control it anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like when it was Flash and them and they were party records, it was cool. But when people started coming talking about knowledge of self and Public Enemy and things like that, I think that terrified the record industry.
Now this is something what I think, exactly what you just said, I think you hit on something. Now, I think there's a fine line there to where when Rakim came out, I don't think they knew what he was saying.
They didn't know yet. No. Because honestly, because when you look at it, Rakim and the Nation are basically the same age, just within a few years.
Now,
so they weren't caught up on that yet. They didn't know what he was saying.
Public Enemy, on the other hand,
Yeah, that was in your face.
They definitely recognized this Black Panther.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
This Black Muslim.
Right.
This Black Muslim, Black Panther.
Far more militant than Bob was, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, based on that, and the only other thing I can say is based on the fact that just the way hip hop works right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just saying all things being the same as it was then. Marley Marl was like the SoundCloud then or the TikTok. You know what I mean? So just being down with Marley Marl, he would have had that buzz that made the industry. That's how they sign you now.
He was New York's A&R.
Right,
He was New York's A&R. If you got to pass with Marley Marl, you were on.
Because you got on the radio and
on Red 2, that's how the joke
was. That's it.
They had to pass with him.
And so based on that, I think he's still, now, Marley Marl's not the guy now, you know what I'm saying? And the way you do it now is, you got to kind of do clown stuff on that tip. Rakim would have never made it. You know what I mean? Because he don't got no antics.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. Even in comparison to back then, he don't got no antics.
And he was young.
Yeah.
18, 19 years old.
Yeah. But, there's lots of people, though, you're right. You know what I mean? Now, where I think that the contrast is much more, you can see the impact that they've had is in female hip-hop. There would have been no MC Light. Forget about it.
Certainly no Bahamadia.
No Bahamadia.
Certainly no Latifah.
No Latifah.
There would have been a Latifah. Because they were really going on. Now, if you're not in drop dead, surgery, everything else, you're not getting put on.
Right.
Light was still cute, but she was spitting hard lyrics. She might have gotten it bad. Moni Love might have gotten it bad.
The real Roxanne would have been bigger than Roxanne Shante.
For no question. No question.
If the market was the way, it's a lot. It's the contrast over there is much more stark.
Very different.
You know what I'm saying? Where you can see that, the powers that be in there right now. But like I said, with that, that's just a matter to me of, there's got to be a lesson learned, right, in terms of capital and capitalism. You understand what I'm saying? See, like Jeff Bezos, he played capitalism for capitalism. See what I mean? So he invests all the money back in Amazon. You know what I mean? He's not going to just, what I'm saying, as opposed to, if you're playing capitalism for capital, then you're trying to cash out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And people kind of cashed out in the mid-90s. You know what I mean? Where, everybody was getting all these deals, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, whatever it is. But what you was doing is selling the capitalism for this little bit of bread. So now a lot of those people, right, where if you look at other industries and just other the way things develop, there should be more, which to me he's to me, you just down with them. You know what I mean? You're not really an independent dude like that, but there should be more dudes with that type of power like Jay-Z. But like the Master P's and the what's my man from Murder Inc. All of these dudes, but it's like with those deals, they sold their ability to be around like Clive Davis, 30 years after you had your last hit artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you still a power player in the game. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really, have none of us that's real power players in the game. Like even most of these people, it's like, they got a label, but then this label is still you know, signed to Atlantic or whatever other people that's still kind of calling the shots.
Somebody always told me the more logos you have on the back of your record, the less money you make.
Absolutely.
Because it's just everybody getting a piece of you. I think the thing that separated Jay-Z from everybody else is that he's able to produce material himself when he needs to and be a businessman. The other guys lose their feasibility as far as making records. And I think that that's another thing that they fear. I think they don't want you to stay, when I say they, I mean the powers that be in the recording industry. They don't want you to be feasible for too long because they want you to make 2 records and not recoup on your 3rd and your 4th and your 5th. And I think that Jay-Z kind of took it himself and it was different. I think that scared a lot of people too. I don't think you won't see another Jay-Z deal again. They're scared of that.
Well, I think that the industry is just.
I think they're scared of that.
See, the business model is just different, right? Where before the internet, it was only 2 or 3 ways. You know, like you could listen to the radio, you could go to the concert, you could buy the yeah. But it really wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like now you got 1,000 sites you can go to, you can listen to on the phone, on the computer, or, you know, the headphones, you know what I'm saying? The USB shit, whatever. So, you know, you're not controlling the resource. The resource is not, see, even the shit going there for the download, they stream it, right? They just put that on there one time.
Right, done.
Yeah, whatever is the cost of the electricity or whatever, right? For you to upload that onto the what's the name. So yeah, it's only one of them, but it's not scarce. I'm talking about just the tenets of capitalism.
Right.
Yes, I mean supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. So once it goes on there, the supply is infinite.
Endless. Endless. Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So, that business model is just, you know, kind of broken, you know, and the people who had the power to pick up the pieces, at least in terms of hip hop, right? I don't think it's ever been this much control over what goes on by the corporate part of the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just think another thing that changed about the business model is that, you know, up until the 90s, right? Like Atlantic right now, who's the head over there?
I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. They just a machine. You see what I mean? Whereas before, the people who was the heads of these labels,
they were faces.
And they actually believed in these artists. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, like you said, a dude could put out 2 albums and then the 3rd one they don't recoup. Because they know the artist is good. Like whatever, yeah, we gotta get new songwriters or, you know, we gotta play better musicians or whatever the case may be. But we know this artist is good. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of records that people sample, right? Those records would never get made today. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of those records, they sold a little bit of copies, but they was classic. You see what I'm saying? And the people who was behind the labels, they knew that they was making good music. You know what I'm saying? And they saw the marketing as their job. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now you come in and that's what you're basically, right now, the artists that we see is basically internet marketers. That's their basic skill.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Whereas Rakim's basic skill was rhyme. Yeah. And then if you want me to do a commercial or something or, you know, do a shout out on the radio, I could do that. But my basic skill is this. Whereas a lot of dudes now, their basic skill is internet pranks.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, what's to me messed up about it, or one of the things that I think is it's not spoken on, right, is that, well, Supreme may speak on it sometimes on here, but not in those exact terms, is that it dumbed down everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that right now you got dudes that, you know, they might be in their 30s, right? And like you said, they're saying less mature shit than Rakim was saying.
At 19.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You know, like some dudes, you know, you could, you know, take your pick. You know, you could tell. I mean, just in general, like you said, just the, you know, at that time, in you know, in the 80s when Rakim was coming out, only like the earliest dudes like flashing them was over 25. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, the whole
17, 18, 19.
Right, and then as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, if you look at people in their 30s and even 40s sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, so, and then it, you know, it had a trickle down effect all the way into the community. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
That's usually what the 10 does, right? Take a break. That was that, we talked about that before, the divide and conquer.
Get some. Oh, we're talking about that.
Right, the divide and conquer, that's what they do. They divide and conquer and they keep everybody dumb.
Yeah, I mean, well,
watch this, right? To say everybody dumb.
Look, the 85, they try their best to keep the 85 dumb. Pardon me, I didn't mean everybody.
No, I mean literally, like, they were trying to affect the gods with the science, but it's through food, because you are what you eat. So if I can get people to eat the wrong food, they're going to be thinking wrong, and they're going to manifest subjects of wrong ideas, wrong philosophies, wrong everything.
Right.
Like flat earth or something.
Understand? Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just the diet that will allow for their iniquities, because they can't learn past a certain point because of iniquity.
Right.
And they're stuck there, so they're thinking they're still doing something, and that's the illusion of what they're eating.
No, and that's your fuel.
That's your energy.
That's your fuel. You put bad gas in the car.
Right.
You get it.
Just like when you put food in your mouth, it goes to saliva, then it goes to acid base, then it goes to the stomach. The stomach breaks it down to a molecule form for your blood again, but it cooks out toxins and poisons. Now toxins and poisons are in you in a gas form. Now all gas rises to the top. It can change your mind, focus, thoughts, and actions.
you see, we actually, so that turned out not to be clickbait. We actually got into some.
Veganism.
You see,
that's ill though. That's really peace.
You see how things work out.
See, it moves so quick up to your mental. They're connected. Your stomach has a mind of its own. So now your stomach shoots this up so quick that you can't see it, feel it, or touch it. So now you're reacting from it, but you didn't know where it came from to get in you. So now, once you react, you do it out, do the reaction. When you come back, you say, damn, why did I do that? You're already in the play of it because of the toxins already in you. That's how someone could think of something without, having a true manifestation to it.
And you probably start to miss it when you don't have it again.
Yeah.
Almost like an addiction.
It's toxic.
Right.
Just like if you eat rice and someone says rice again, you're gonna think you can eat it.
Right.
You're gonna have a hunger to it. But rice is actually arsenic. Rice turns into glucose. Glucose turns into sugar. Sugar turns into arsenic in the body. So if you eat
rice and brown rice?
Rice, brown rice, all of it has arsenic. Brown rice has less.
Right.
All these other ones have less, but you're still eating them. It does have some in it.
Yeah, that's next level. That's really dead. That makes.
That's why people are in jail without knowing it through actions and caught within their actions from it. From what they ate. what they've allowed in their body.
Right now, they ain't got too much choice.
Now you gotta watch it play out.
That's it. That's a certain signs where, you know, the people, you know, just in terms of our culture here on the planet, right? You know, that's like in the devil, because the devil gives us nothing. You know, we don't really have the knowledge no more, you know, most people to really get your food from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gave the average person even a gun and sent them in the wild, they couldn't have that gun. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know where to get water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They couldn't have that. You understand what I mean? So, but all of that's a part of the dependency, right? That you gotta instill in people to colonize their minds. You understand what I'm saying? Like with the Indians, how it's like, yeah, see, we can't have them be independent and then they listen.
Hunters and gatherers, you can't have that.
Yeah.
We have to.
It's got to be everything, and then so now, even in terms of us having the power now to say we're gonna turn the pump off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we gotta have you dependent on our society, right? In order to impose society on you. You see what I mean? Because if I say, look, all right, this is the rules right here. You gotta do this, right? And then you say, nah, fuck that. I'll just go out and live on the plains. Right. Then, next thing you know, the plains will be full of people. And over
I think we saw that more and more in COVID.
Right,
people
exactly.
Fighting for toilet paper.
That's a perfect example of what I'm saying.
Like
yeah.
that,
so what they tell you is, okay, look, we're not forcing you to do it.
Right.
But if you want to work.
Yeah.
Exactly. But see, if you got your farm where you like, nah, I mean, you know, fucking take this car back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, this shit, I don't need that shit. You know what I mean? I'm good. But see, now that they got you X amount of depending on them. See, like I say all the time, you know, one of my favorite scenes in The Matrix is when he woke up and he was in the pod, right? And as all these people was right next to him, but none of them knew they was together. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't know. They didn't know about their own self, first of all.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then they didn't know that they had people all around them. You see what I'm saying? Everybody only had their connection to the machine.
Right.
And that's how everybody survived, by being connected to the machine and never dealing with each other.
It's like that now.
You see what I mean? And then, as soon as you get even a small group of motherfuckers that's together, the machine can't fuck with them. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, that's when that probably was the last movie that, you know, because even with The Matrix, I didn't see all of the what's names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't see all of it. You know what I mean? But that scene stood out to me in the scene where he said, this steak right here, I know it's fake, but I don't care. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Should take the blue pill. You know, I've been thinking that for 35 years. Yeah, listen. If I would have known how y'all live, I probably would have just been an internet guy.
It.
Yeah, just read it off the internet, get what I can get, man. Leave y'all alone. Stuck with y'all. Or 60% of the incarcerated population has diabetes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You know it's the diet. It's a starch diet.
It's the commissary package. Really. That's they probably serve them. I'm sure that they don't serve them that much. I'm sure it's not great food there, But it's probably the commissary packages, the devil dogs, the Twinkies, the sugars, the soups, all of that stuff. The commissary packages are what's probably getting them with the diabetes. Just my opinion. Because I know how them commissary packages come, they just loaded with sugar, it's candy bars. You get nothing but candy. Kit Kats, Reese's Cups. That's all it comes.
At the same time,
yeah.
Everything has rice, potatoes,
everything
has starch whatsoever. Starch is sugar.
They said the worst thing they ever did was introduce that pyramid.
Yeah.
They said that was the worst thing they ever did for the U.S. Dietary habits.
Yeah.
With that pyramid they showed you in school, they said that was the worst thing they could have ever done. Because it ingrained in everybody they had to eat like that.
That's a fact.
But that was, those particular, those was amongst the first lobbies in America was those 4 groups.
Right.
So they got, originally they said it was 12 food groups. But those 4 had the power when everything started getting like standardized by the federal government. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how they was able to force their way.
It was 12, huh?
Yeah, they said it was originally 12 food groups. Like they said it was like I don't want to, but it was a ridiculously high number. Like it was like 70 or 80 different kinds of apples in America when Columbus got here, and that now it's down to 3. Like the Washington apple.
Granny Smith.
Yeah. It's like just a couple.
Yeah, because the other ones are just variations of those 3, I think.
The other ones ain't commercial enough.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Right. So it's just mass production.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, once you get to, it's like all this land is being cleared out for industrial farming, and then all this other land is being cleared out for the suburbs, and all this other land is being cleared out. You know what I'm saying? So it's no real space for the other
fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah, single line farming.
Yeah. So they were saying, you know, there's a couple of different things like that. You know what I mean? Like just in general. Like when you look into a field, right, and you see all the stuff is one color, it's not supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't never look in nature, you know what I mean, and this whole forest is yellow. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be daisies, but they mixed in with roses and tulips or whatever kinds of, you know what I'm saying, vegetation is never just, you know, it might be mostly oak trees in this forest, but you know that'll be based on they the only ones that can survive there. You know what I mean? Like if you go above a certain latitude, then you're only gonna see evergreens and shit. You know what I mean? You know, or if you go into a tropical climate, you only gonna see, yes, I mean, but it's never gonna just be one kind.
Just acres and acres of land.
Right. Yes, I mean, so when you look out there and you see the corn and shit and it's all uniform and yellow,
it's all modified.
Not supposed to be like that.
12 food groups. That's funny, boy. Lobbies, those lobbies, that is the most just ridiculous. The power that those lobbies have, man, when they really want to have a power. Look at the opioids. The opioids, that just all came from lobbying and the pharmaceutical companies buying people off.
You know what it was supposed to do? Kill off the elders.
Yeah,
I really believe oxycodone was made to kill off the elders. And when the elders didn't take it and gave it to the youth, or the youth stole it from the elders,
it backfired.
They started dying.
And honestly, if you really want to go deep, COVID might have been put in to get rid of the elders too.
True deep. Factual.
that might have very well been conjured up to get rid of elders, because that's who it was killing. It was just speeding people up to the essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me, I'm not a pill person, you know, a medicine kind of person anyway. You know, generally speaking, I've just seen them make a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not that I don't think that there's any expertise in the medical field, but you know, they not geniuses. They don't know everything. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think people get a little bit carried away with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially
when you go and you tell them everything wrong with you.
Yeah, and you know, the body is dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like a table where we can say, all right, this leg over here is shaky, and that's it. You understand what I mean? Where, you know, that's how, you know, I'm just saying, and over time that I've seen, like, you know, they give you this medicine right here for your blood pressure, and then you gotta take this other medicine because now your blood is thin. And then you gotta take this.
It's messing with your kidneys.
It's
messing with your kidneys.
Now you're impotent and shit.
Yeah. So now you gotta take Viagra. Now you gotta take the blue pill. You're right. They all have side effects.
Exactly. The blue pill.
Nah.
You take the pills to combat your pills.
With me, you know, look, whatever. When it's over, yeah, I'm not doing death by 1,000 cuts with them.
Well, you know what they say about the pharmaceuticals in the medical industry. They don't make money off healthy people. So why would they want you healthy? That's wild. Yeah, they give you pills for your pills.
Yeah,
the side effects of your pills.
You know, but you know, at the end of the day, right? These are the things. See, because a lot of the stuff we say, right, is not inherently negative. Like hip hop is not negative. You know what I'm saying? Medicine is not negative. It's the way the person use it as a tool. You see what I'm saying? Just like in the black man body exists a black germ and a brown germ, right? So we all come from a black germ and a brown germ, but it's the way Yakub manipulated it. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? That cause. So it's the same thing with these stuff where it's like, you know, anything that they see, like, all right, this guy magnetic for you, then they gonna try to control that thing. You see what I'm saying? Rather it's a person and they kidnap that person to try to control you. You see what I mean? Or whatever it is, because they see that thing got magnetic in our community. They're like, all right, boom, we're gonna finesse it like this so that we can have this effect. You know what I mean? But whatever it is, we're gonna end up, you know, we can control the image of it. You know what I'm saying? And how the image is bought and sold to the people, especially, you know, right now, because, you know, it ain't no break and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then even what it is, to a certain degree, you can control it, right? Like, see me, I don't watch TV, I watch YouTube, right? Now, yeah, they got commercials, but a lot of times I just press the button.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You can't do that on TV. You can't do that on the radio. So see, just I'm saying that naturally built in is something to shut your mind down. They didn't mean it that way, but when that commercial come on, your mind shut right down. You go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, get on the phone, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But see, on the internet, that shit just be hitting you. Boo, 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 boo. And you can't tell the difference between the people that's finessing you and the shit that's real. You understand what I mean? Like when you get on Instagram, you can't tell who's finessing you. You see what I'm saying? You just gotta tell the people. That's why you gotta come in real life. If you come here to law school in Mecca, I'm really here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finessing you. Hey, look, the first time you met me, what I was doing?
And just outside doing pull-ups.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not finessing you. If you come over here, you're gonna see me doing the real life stuff, but it's other people that can just be finessing you. I'm talking about in the knowledge, not, you know, people do whatever they want to do on their channel. That's why we got to meet each other in person, man. Shit is real.
The first time we spoke, I had spoken to you about getting some to read.
Right, yeah.
And the first thing you told me was, nah, this is mouth to ear. That's the first thing you told me. I mean, and we were building conversations that were outside of the knowledge, just as two grown adults, who agreed with a lot of things. And I said, hey, I'd like to learn, and you were like, it's mouth to ear, bro, nothing to read. come in and see me.
Yeah.
Come in and see me, or or whatever. But just come in and see me. It's mouth to ear.
Yeah. But see, the people, if you just on there, right? I'm saying now when you apply that to a different science, right? Where motherfuckers is saying, whatever it is that they selling, right? The brain is not getting the break, and I'm telling you that all of that. See, everything that they do now is a mind game.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? When you go in the supermarket, it's certain mind games. Like that's when I first. That's one of the things that made me see when I first started talking about the 10%. I knew those motherfuckers existed because when I found out that they make the cartoon characters on the cereal box to look down because they know that kids is short. So when they look at the cereal box, it could look like the character is making eye contact with them.
Well, why you think that?
Yeah, son, when I found that out, I was like, son, these some sneaky motherfuckers.
That's why they put jingles in commercials.
You see what I'm saying?
You could sing commercial songs from your youth.
Now think about before, like I said, with breaks, right? TV was something, if you was a kid, TV was from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock when the news come on, right? And then, not even 3 o'clock, from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock when the news come on, right? And then from 8 o'clock to maybe 10 o'clock.
Bedtime.
Yeah. And even if it's not even it's bedtime, the shit that's coming on, the shit that's coming on, you don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. Yeah.
No.
Unless it's some sports shit on, like the Final Four.
That's it.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Right.
It's a bill and only a bill.
Right. But now look, you see what you said Saturday morning? Now look, now they got whole channels that's devoted to cartoons 24. So that's what I'm saying. You're not getting that break no more and shit.
I bet you.
You understand what I'm saying?
I bet you those companies sold more on Saturday mornings than they did the rest of the week. Because those kids were all sitting there watching it, knew all the commercials, and knew what to ask their parents.
This is what I'm saying. You gotta remember that now they got people, the amount of time we talking about, right? You gotta realize that it's people that's probably getting ready to be grandparents that grew up with that system, that grew up with Nickelodeon being on TV, you know what I'm saying, with them not know, with that no break.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this shit is generations down the line now where they don't even see the problem. Like, now they watch Nickelodeon.
What about the children movies? How they as soon as the children movie over, start another children movie, and this child just sitting there watching movie after movie after movie.
It's the babysitter.
And listen, and you can see, look, if you look at the look on their face, like you ever call them and shit when they be watching TV, look, they be like this,
Robots.
Yeah, they don't want to look away.
What you say? Huh?
Oh my, you ain't lying.
They still looking at the screen.
You ain't lying about that.
Yeah, because that shit, it captivates them in a certain particular kind of way. Now what I'm saying is that once you done grew up with a lifetime of these mind games, where even the news is mind games, right? That's why people are snapping like that out there on the street, talking like so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't even have the time to really see who they is and really, you know what I'm saying? And then you sold all these dreams, right? You sold all these dreams, and then when a couple of them don't come true,
snap.
And you listen to everybody else.
Yeah. And you don't know how much of it is real and how much of it is fake.
Sure. One objective I be doing is I be like, what is Kids Foot Locker? I wait for them to answer, and they say, a kid's foot shoe store. I say no. As soon as the child puts on a pair of shoes, his self-esteem is gone. Because now they're looking at the person instead of, they're looking at the shoe instead of the person. So the big Foot Locker is the ones that don't have no self-esteem.
Yeah, that was something that I observed back in the days when I noticed that it's like they make the Jordans for babies, right, very cheap. The price, I'm saying, right? And so now you got all these people that feel like they grew up wearing Jordans. This is just how they do. You know what I mean? They always had Jordans.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, because listen, I'm telling you from experience. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel
the price jumped suddenly. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like
all of a sudden.
From 7.5 to 8, I think is where it gets ugly.
Yeah, these motherfuckers, look, before I was paying like $15. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden now they like $60, $70.
No, but then the 60, 70. But then if they go to the toddlers and then they go to grade school. After grade school, you're getting your pockets.
Once they get to the adult side.
Yeah, man. Those 7.5 to 8 is a killer.
But now you can't. When they come in the store,
they condition.
You can't show them nothing. Right? You've already conditioned them.
I want to see
something that on.
When you come in the store, there's only 28 shoes in that style. So you're the 30th person, you can't get the shoe.
Yeah. But see, I'm gonna tell you how to deal with that issue. I'm gonna tell you how to deal with that issue. This is how you deal with that issue. Give them the money before you leave. Like before you leave the house, or like before y'all get out the car, or wherever you like, be like, look, alright, this is money right here. Watch how economical.
New Balance.
Watch how economical motherfuckers get.
Yeah.
Listen. I take you to the store and shit. I got the money and shit. Listen, everything we see on the way to the register. Yo, what about this hat right here? Yo, hold up. But these niggas too, though, they match with it. You get them the money, motherfuckers be looking at the price, turn shit over. Put that shit down quick, like, whoa.
He never did that.
Hey, listen.
Never did that.
Listen. Yeah, I'm dead ass. That's your son can't wait till my older son. Look, I sent him on his own.
Yeah.
And here, take that, go ahead, right?
See how you do.
Hey, listen, this motherfucker come back, he got all kinds of shit, son, and money left over. You know what I'm saying?
One pair of sneakers, bro. That's dope. That's smart.
Yeah. That's how you defeat that. See what I'm saying? As soon as it's day money, change it.
He has to know that that's all the money he's gonna get.
Right.
He can't.
That's
20 more.
That's
be dead, right?
See, especially for them, right? Because they don't know money like that. So you give them a couple $100, and they like, oh, they think they got you. Like, oh yeah, right. Then they get in the store and see the real price. You like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of come back with bags instead of one box. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's deep. When I was younger, I was a drug dealer, and I used to watch all the drug dealers go into the mall and spend $1,000. And after they were done, I'd look at them and be like, yo, you got any more money? They say, no. Can I get a devil? I'm like, I'm not working for you. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, it's a difference. I think it's just a unique thing, right? And, at least amongst black people that was born in America, right? We the only people who ain't come here for capitalism. We didn't come here to make a dollar.
For a better opportunity.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Peace, you on the and I don't know if we ever crossed that line into understanding the difference between because it's all, money, I guess you could say. Now, I don't know the specific economic terms, you know what I mean? But, the difference between, capital, income, revenue, all these different, things and shit, you know what I'm saying, that it depends on how you look at money and what you doing with it. You understand what I mean? Rather you saving it or rather you spending it, you understand what I'm saying? We never came to, well, I'm not gonna say never, but as a group of people, meaning there's other groups of people, like say in New York, you got the LES, right? The different groups that have been in the LES over the years, though, you could look around the city and see where the people that came through there, they made it, and it's another area in the city where they doing better. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Chinatown where, the Asian people come, but then you got, Flushing and all that over there where they, those the one, yeah, yes I mean, or, all over the city, you know what I'm saying? You got, the Irish that used to be down there too, you know what I'm saying? But, they made it out of there, there's no real Irish presence in the LES no more like that, you know what I'm saying? Even over there on Hell's Kitchen, I mean, I suppose they still around, but it's not, it's before it was Irish pubs up and down. You know what I'm saying? Now it's Mexican, you know what I'm saying? All types of shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Italians.
Right, the Italians, they was down there, but now they, Howard Beach, Staten Island, where you can see people that tell you, yeah, our roots, was in Red Hook and in the LES and all that shit, you know what I mean? But they made it, it's not a particular area, you know what I'm saying? And then even the areas that they kind of breaking down, you know what I mean? The Atlantas, you know what I'm saying? Where people were saying in Atlanta that, the colored people is moving back now and shit, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that got to do with that to me, because that was something that I seen myself, that when the Jews and Italians left the neighborhoods in New York, the Jews had all the property and the Italians had all the businesses. You know what I'm saying? Every business was Pacelli and Sons, you know what I'm saying? And all the landlords was Jewish. You know what I'm saying? At that time, they still used to come around and collect cash money. You know what I'm saying?
But that was drummed out of you on purpose. That was drummed out of you on purpose.
Right.
See, what they did was they went right from slavery to sharecropping. They never wanted you as a people to understand the economics of anything. Much like the Bible was what you were allowed to read. You're only allowed to have X amount of money. You're not allowed to learn about money. And unfortunately, I think that's just ingrained. It's generational, and it's generational for not just the original, but also the color, because there's lots of white people who don't know about money either. There's lots of white people who don't know about money either, and
it's something that happened though in the just in the time span that we talking about, where there was at least pockets of people that sort of like, you know what I'm saying?
And look how they got treated.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City or Tulsa. I mean, there was the devil was there to make sure you didn't learn anything.
But see, you also got that that generation that was born in like the early half of the 1900s, right? They also had that in where, you know, they sold family farms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where, like, if you look at what's built on there now, I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they did that because it's like, you know, you don't want to live off the land no more. You don't want to be a farmer and shit. You know, you want to go to the city and, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, generations later, now we complaining that, you know what I'm saying?
But even you said that about your family in Florida.
People, yeah.
There was very few people who understood what your
that,
family was doing.
That understood what that was, you know
even
what I'm saying?
In your family.
But yeah, like, nah, I mean, that's a story that, you know, a lot of times, you know, when you living in something, you know, like the people who was in Rosewood at that time, they probably wasn't thinking that we was going to be talking about them now.
Yeah.
They just was living their life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's certain things we living in the time of right now. You see what I'm saying? Without realizing that, yo, you know, this shit is going to be significant in a particular way. You know, this is going to be the fork right here that people is going to look back at, you know, as an event and as us as people. Like, damn, y'all fucked that package up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peace. I'm gonna be up front. I'm gonna deal with this next
All right.
thing.
It's a birthday party.
Yeah, it's that early part. Yeah.
Smoked Out said those people that sold farms, etc., got the equality from things like the New Deal. I mean, the New Deal, though, that didn't too much go to black people, though. Not too tough.
Anytime white people are struggling, here come the help. Because PPP loans came out, the New Deal came out. White people are struggling. There's gonna be subsidies. No question. Look at Russia and Ukraine. They sending money over there like there's no tomorrow.
They not getting help this time, and that's what's being the difference. Is that you know, it's one thing to have never been able to count on the system. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's another thing for that rug to get pulled out from under you.
Right.
Yeah.
Understood.
And see, for, you know, because, you know, white people was working out.
Right.
You know, just, you know, they don't even need to have beef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just come here to shoot shit up and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and yeah, I think that's kind of what it is, where it's like there's a book a lady wrote, and this is like one of the greatest, it's got to be one of the greatest titles in literary history. I can't remember the lady's name, but her book is White Trash.
Damn.
A 400-year history.
Damn. That's dope.
And that's basically what she's saying, is that there's just a certain class of white people that they came over here being sold the American dream, and they never quite achieved it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they, you know, basically do whatever, whether it was just labeling them white trash, or, you know, they've been kind of sweeping them under the rug, and they keep getting the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, she was saying how conditions right now is causing even some of the ones that made it, it's starting to
revert.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think at the end of the day, that's, you know, a lot of white people is going to realize that they was really just cannon fodder.
That's all.
You know what I mean? Meaning, you know, we know that we trying to take this whole shit over, and it's too much Indians for us to have smoke with. So we got to bring some new cats in.
And here come the Irish.
You see what I'm saying?
We talked about that last time too. They were Irish slaves. People never do that.
Right, and that's all your real job is to go out there on the frontier, right, until they start some trouble and give us a reason to come out there.
Yep.
Same way they do in Jerusalem now. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, it never was no plan, meaning, you know, like that's one of the things she puts in her book, that the phrase "go west, young man, go west" really comes from the fact that the East Coast was already locked down.
Yeah, go west.
Yeah.
You could say the fuck out of
Yeah, we got this locked down. You're not about to own no property. You're not about to own no property in Manhattan and Boston right now.
You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, you know, because remember at that time, you know, in the 1700s, 1800s, one person owned the whole Manhattan.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, when they said only people that own land could vote, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, it was like 3 guys voting.
Yeah.
Was it Dickman family? There was a few families that owned it. That was it.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I think you know, a lot of them is gonna you know, a lot of not even gonna come, you know what I'm saying? It's already happening, but just the way they reacted to it is differently.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Meaning like the young white college kids, you know what I'm saying? They like, yo, man, you know, we're not making it. Everything needs to be free.
Yeah, so here, now the student loans are going to go away because they can't pay their bills.
Yeah.
They can't pay their bills no more.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know, another group of them is saying, nah, that's the problem. All this free shit.
Right.
Nothing free. You understand what I'm saying? But they all reacting to the fact that, yo, you can't just have your pickup and your shotgun and your 12-pack of Blue Ribbon.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And just, you know, do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's kind of what's going to come for their relief is going to much be like how the crack era was handled and how the opioids were handled. It's going to be the same thing. They'll find ways to find relief for that like they did for the opioids. For crack, they were like, fuck it.
They got to get rid of them people.
I don't know, man.
They got to get rid of them.
They have a lot of Republican votes.
I
don't know if they get rid of anybody.
They can get the votes and still get rid of them. It's just a matter of how long it takes. See, it's for every place, right? In other places, they can maintain the people's poverty by, you know, just causing confusion. Like you keep war in this country or whatever. And even if they elevate a little bit, right, they still gonna fall back down because it's constant chaos over there. You understand what I'm saying? See, in America, everybody is too uppity. You understand what I mean? See, this, you know.
Entitled.
Yeah. People, you know, people say, man, you know, people want $25 an hour minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? You know, not saying that they wrong or that's not actually what you need to survive here, but just saying that
it's not gonna work.
In other places, you know, especially once you convert American money into their money,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they working for $8 an hour and shit. You know what I mean? You don't got to do all of the other benefits and all this other shit for them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't think, you know, it's something that they got to do gradually because those people got guns. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for right now, I think that's the, you know, like that's slowly what I see happening anyway. You know what I'm saying? Is that whether it's through prices rising or whatever the case may be, I see kind of lifestyle kind of contracted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some things that's obvious. Like, you know, when the last time you seen rims?
Yeah, a system.
Yeah, you know. Like, remember when everybody had four TVs, spinning rims, the lights under the car.
415s in the back.
You see what I'm saying? Is and every different thing you starting to see, like, you know, even you know, white people live like Mexicans now.
Yeah. And the Mexicans are taking their jobs.
Where, you know, a lot of these people, you know, they come to New York and y'all wonder, how can people afford all that rent? Yeah, it's 89.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, there's different things that you know, I don't think you know, because it's also like, at the end of the day, all of this, you know, comes down to the military. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, all those different ways, like you said, of being able to save them, right? It's got to come down to some type of the military.
Go through your time in the military.
Yeah, either you, not just that, but you either got to go somewhere and exploit those people for their resources, right? You know, all this military spending, like, you know, out of the Great Depression and World War II, you know, whatever the case may be, or you gotta have some country in check that don't want no problem with you because your military is too strong, you know. But in this day and time, with that failing too, I don't, you know, you know, just say on the study of economics, right? They already know what happens from here. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, you know, pretty much every system, really capital or otherwise, start off agrarian.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, the closest you can get to producing your living from the land. You know what I mean? And, you know, it moves into production and manufacturing and all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, what's happened in the last, say, 100 years, right, is the mature economies have shifted over to consumerism. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But nobody knows what comes after consumerism.
Because it's never been, no one's ever done that.
And you know, and so
Adam Smith, Wealth of Nations, he mapped out this whole entire thing till now. Till now.
And see, look, here's another thing about Adam Smith, right? Two things is Adam Smith, when he was coming up with those theories, right, those observations of economics, it was during slavery.
That's right, where it was free labor.
And see, that's another idea that I have, is that because the ideas of capitalism was born during slavery, slavery is it's like an assumption.
It's a major component. Either slavery, free labor, or cheap labor.
Right.
It's a main component.
It's built in to the ideas of capitalism.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because the labor is what actually makes it work or don't work.
And it's funny what you said before, how you might walk by a guy in a bodega who's been a brain surgeon before. Because that's who's coming here from other countries, taking the unskilled white trash job from them. So how is he going to, this guy's you know, he's basically been a carpenter who's been a bum his whole life. This guy comes, he's a surgeon, he's got the brain of a surgeon, the skills of a surgeon, and he's a carpenter for now. And that's why they're so scared of that. Well, that and their white fragility, but they're really scared of the skill sets that are coming from other countries because they can't compete. They never got an education. They really never did. The poor white trash in this country is really the pariah of this country, if you want to know the truth. Because
you know, I would say that I saw this place. It was out in the Midwest, right? and they had a sign up where it said no smoking weed on the job and shit. And I was like, damn, you know. Yeah, like even black people would have to be told that. You said, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta tell people, yeah, I saw this thing where they had a machine, and the dude said, you know, he really didn't want to get the machine because he knew that getting the machine, then, you know, people was gonna lose their jobs.
Right.
But he was like, yo, we can't get people to work and shit. And they was like, why not? He was like, yo, everybody's on drugs and shit. Like, we can't find nobody that's not addicted to drugs and shit. So that's what I be thinking, like, maybe the numbers that they saying is low or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's more people on drugs than I think, you know, especially because, like I said, this wave, it ain't reach black people like that. At least not the inner cities.
Well,
so I don't see it.
You know meth is
like
a problem.
Like crack. You
know meth, but you don't know meth head.
Yeah.
So you know that's a problem. That's a whole sector that we don't even know. I don't know a meth head. You don't know a meth head.
Yeah.
Now we know drug addicts, but we don't know no meth heads. But that's a whole sector.
Yeah.
There's pill addicts that we kind of might know some people, but not like it's a problem.
Yeah, not like the Just Go White.
Right. So it's like, you know, it's not like we knew crackheads back in the day. We
right,
knew crackheads.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like we knew crackheads.
Yeah.
But
right.
this thing here is like so far that I'm telling you that the numbers, and they're gonna always deflate. They're gonna always deflate until they need aid. The number of white people who need aid, until they really need to pay it, they want the perception of who's on welfare to be black. It's always been like that.
See me, right. But what I'm saying is that they're going back to the original plan. The original plan, right? None of those convicts was intended to survive.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they wasn't that, like, if they sending you somewhere for a punishment, it wasn't supposed to
you ain't gonna make it 20 years. You're gonna make it 5 years.
Yeah, it's not supposed to end up with you starting a wheat windmill and you going into business and becoming Quaker Oats.
Right.
That's that. You know what I mean? You're supposed to go over there and die.
Right. And slavery was the same way. They just didn't expect it.
And that's what I'm telling you, is that there's lots of people where it's, look, the Civil War is over, you know, World War I, World War II, the Indian Wars, all the reasons that we needed y'all is over.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
What you gonna do now?
Yeah. Because that's the, you know, like, even, I said that, you know what I mean, about black women too, like women in general, but, you know, when you start seeing homeless white women, you know, bugging out, talking to themselves on the street and stuff like that, nah, that's a sign.
You know, just to be a homeless woman is not easy.
Yeah.
Because anybody, some man is going to take a woman into their home.
And it's just so many different programs. You know, the system is actively resisting, you know, in this instance, homelessness.
Right.
For women, you know what I mean? It's passively resisting it for men too, but it's actively, you know, resisting that kind of thing for women. You know, so it's just one of those things, like, you know, for me, the way I look at it, you know what I mean? Because that's been the battle cry for a couple hundred years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The white woman is in distress. You know what I'm saying? Has been the battle cry for a couple hundred years.
There are levels of white privilege.
Yeah,
there's white privilege, there's white woman privilege, and there's blonde white woman privilege. that blonde white woman privilege trumps everything. Everything in the world. If you're a blonde white woman in distress, you remember when the girl went missing in Aruba?
Yeah.
We saw that woman. We saw that girl. Remember the little girl, the one who's they think her mother killed her, the John Bonet?
Yeah.
Blonde hair. If you got blonde hair and you're in distress, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They're gonna turn the world upside down for you.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you start to see that, you know, these things is happening, and when you starting to see that, like the problems of, you know, and you know, the problems of whatever societies that the colonizers created, right?
Right.
They push them off on the people.
Always.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you know, anything. You know, the kid is half black, yeah, they black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation with you, whatever's going, you gotta deal with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We got some poison over here, I dump it in the water right there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Whatever's the issue, you know what I'm saying? But you starting to see the shit affect their family now. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
like
why. That's when it's a big
deal.
deal.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, she's getting a little long in the tooth now. But, you know, Kim Kardashian has been the top ratchet for, what, 10, 15 years? You know what I'm saying?
And now her sister's right behind her.
Yeah. So,
his sister right behind her.
So,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. These types of things, you know, I don't think they would have, you know, basically allowed a white woman to engage in that much, you know, especially to still be accepted in the mainstream the way she is. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that I don't think that would have happened back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you look at, you know, I don't look at none of it often, but you know, if you look at reality TV with white people on it, it's just as fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this shit is. It's not like this shit is Broadway fucking. You know what I'm saying? You know, fine fucking fair and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
what's the one with the mama?
Man. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what the country wants to see. They want to feel better about themselves, so they want to see the ratchetness.
All right, so that's what I'm saying, though. But what is the purpose of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, see, it's not really my problem. We don't talk about that on this channel, right? But I'm saying for a white person, right? What is the effect, right, of them portraying the white man now as, you better watch him because he might got an AR. he might got an AR-15.
But they still try to play that down too. They will never call a white man a terrorist.
True.
You'll never hear a white man say that it was a terrorist attack by a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. But every one of those shootings are terrorist attacks. But they'll never call him a terrorist. They play that down too. They play that down. You see the royal family on Good Morning America every morning, just to continue to put that white supremacy in your head. The royal family, you'll never look like this. You'll never live like this. You'll never be like this. So yeah, we need. There's a section of people in this country that worship the royal family of another country.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But see, what I'm saying is that, you know, if I was white, I wouldn't trust the government right now. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't. I know all this time.
But why wouldn't
all
you?
this time.
But they've given you
shit
everything
been,
already.
Yeah, that's when you gotta watch people.
I understand.
But you
know that. But if you're still getting it, why you go watch them? You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's always been an easy thing.
Because I know the history.
Listen, I actually saw someone sit down once, and you know I'm a militant guy with the white people. I'm not a fan of the white people because you think white people are racist. I know they are. You feel what I'm saying? You think they are because you don't. I get the unfettered white people. Like I saw a man after Trump was elected who sat down at the table in front of me and said, "Man, I finally feel like it's okay to be a white man in this country again." He don't know me, he don't know my background, he don't know nothing about me. He said he thinks it's finally okay to be a white man in this country again. He was persecuted. A persecuted, wealthy white man. You ever heard of such a thing? But that's what they feel.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what they feel, bro.
But I'm saying all of that is something. It's something to that. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, all white people is not the 10%.
No.
And yeah, see, the 85% of white people need to watch the 10% of white people.
But they don't. They think they're part of the 10%.
That's what I'm saying.
They've sold it to them that they are part of the 10%.
Right. So,
and they're not.
So now, that's what you're saying. When you say that, okay, now, for instance, with welfare, right, where they put a certain image out there with black people on it, you know what I'm saying? But you got whole fucking towns.
Whole towns.
That's all welfare and shit, you know what I'm saying? In Appalachia and shit.
There's whole towns of Hasidic Jews.
Yeah.
Upstate.
Them too, yeah. Right here in New York.
Upstate Monroe. Right up Monroe, and there's another one on Pearl River right up around there. There's whole towns. Whole towns of Hasidic Jews getting it. You don't hear about that ever. Never hear about that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that this is the thing. When the ship goes down, right? Everybody's gonna be on it. Chinese people, white people, black people, yes, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I'm saying. So, 100%. You know, that's a Roman tactic, right? Where anytime the Romans form a province, they were sure to put different tribes in that province that never got along.
Right.
So they would never be able to unify in order to fight against the authority of Rome.
Divide and conquer.
You see what I mean? So you see that right now still playing out in Africa, right? The British and the French, you know, of course being extensions of the Roman Empire anyway, they instituted the same strategy. You see what I'm saying? So you take a place like Nigeria and they got all these tribes there that's been warring since forever and shit, so they can't really
never realize what's really happening to them.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's the same thing with white people. You understand what I'm saying? Where, I'm talking about, you know, for the masses and them, as they're being brought over here in waves of immigration, right? They're being taught that, okay, look, you one tribe, that's another tribe, stay away from that tribe. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
especially like that, like you said, with just the Mulberry Streets and every little place that had their little sections. And every city's like that. They have a Polish town in Chicago. They've always tried to do that.
And see, it's more dangerous to me. Like that's why white people need to be taught. See, because then they got soft. You understand what I'm saying? They not the Vikings. They not the Celts. You understand what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like you see, look, it wasn't no Karens back in ancient fucking. It wasn't no shit like that back in the Viking times. You see what I mean? So they better watch it and get the knowledge of themselves. Oh man, what kind of conversation y'all having over here? We over here building, y'all talking about grafting. Let me see if I catch up with y'all. The black germ is not grafted from directly. You cannot graft directly from the black germ. You gotta weaken the black first by separating and controlling the environment and select for breeding. Separating the brown from the black and grafting. Black comes in all shades. They took what they wanted and ran with it. The lighter strain and breeded that with the lighter strain. black is destroyed by breeding in the traits that breed lighter skin with another male and female by applying Mendel's law. Alright.
What's next?
No doubt.
Thank you. That's my DM sometime.
Yeah, I be in here fucking around by the time I get home. Yeah, I got 1,000 people I gotta get back to, man.
I'll go home, I'll watch the rest of it. I'll see you later, man.
Peace. Well, so y'all having a discussion on what is grafting. Abdul Rahman, what's your take on the Nation of Islam? Well, y'all my brothers, but y'all, you know, there's, well, I don't know why I'm saying y'all as if I know who you are. You know? But the Nation of Islam, they my brothers, but you know, I think they strayed away from teachers of Elijah. That's what I think. You know what I mean? But you know, you notice I had this read. This is right here. This is always here with me. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I don't know. How you see it? But I would like to, this is a question though I have for Almighty You Divine, right? Is what are you counting as the first stage of grafting? Abdul Rahman said, I wasn't around when Elijah was amongst us. I don't know the nation from before it fell. I guess I was around them, but I don't recall them either. You know what I'm saying? You know, the teachings that I got. You know, I don't know every Savior's Day speech. You know, etc., etc. But, you know, from what I've seen of Elijah's teachings and a lot of what I see in the midst right now, you know what I'm saying? There's not Elijah's teachings. And not for nothing, like if you go back to that time where you saying from before Elijah fell, right, so you saying a lot of older brothers said the same thing you said. There's brothers that was around, that was a part of the Nation of Islam that never even messed with Farrakhan. Like everything Farrakhan did the entire time, they was like, nah, that's not Elijah's teachings. So, but you know, just based on, you know, what I learned, you know, we've always had that thing, you know. Like I said, they are brothers. We've always had that relationship with them where, you know, they feel as though we shouldn't still be 5%, that we should be Muslims by now because we should have had come to, you know, learn Elijah's teachings in the mosque. You know what I'm saying? Whereas for me, I'm like, what are y'all still doing being Muslim? Elijah told you what time it is. Amen. So you saying when the brown was tampered with, the grafting process began. Okay, so when was the brown tampered with? Because in a way of thinking what you're saying that the grafting process actually is 400 years, you're saying. Yeah, I know about L. Ron Hubbard and you're saying brown and black are natural. I understand that. Some forms of yellow is grafted. Some have a black germ in the yellow. There are two types of yellow: black yellow and grafted yellow. So what is black yellow? And it's not just the Scientology, man. It's they're not having the same impact in the community. You understand what I'm saying? Just everything as simple as from cleaning up the drug addicts to starting businesses, etc., etc. They're not having the same impact. You know what I'm saying? They're not, getting out there and doing the things for the salvation of the original man. You know what I'm saying? That's Elijah Muhammad's teachings. He said there is no grafted black. You said 200 years probably gave them a fixed brown that didn't produce no darker, where the trait was making that lighter only. He said, okay. Let's, I think we got to back up a little bit here. We need to back up to, actually the wisdom knowledge degree. But more specifically, the wisdom culture degree. What was his idea of making the devil? right? So it was ridiculous of him to make the devil in the year 8,400 before he was born. Now, when we look, you know, we talk about the story. We not, y'all want to get scientific on another level, we can do that. But we just talking about Elijah's teachings, right? Yaqub was born in 8,367, right? And the devil starts to be manufactured in the year 8,400, right? So that means that everything that happened from the time they reached the island, see, before the genes was separated inside the body, right? Or before the genes, the germs that was inside the body got separated, right? The people were separated. The healthy and the strong and the good breeders were separated from those that had to be sent back. Abdul Rahman, I'm going to address those topics that you're dealing with too right there. You understand what I'm saying? But when it says that the minister would only marry those that was unlike, see, that was already a separation of the black and the brown. See, all of those things, including keeping the secret, which began from the time they got to the island, is all a part of the grafting. So, you know, when it says you got to start grafting from the black, as you already said, the black is already what exists. So how could you start a process from someplace else? The process has to start. The first stage of grafting is the separating. See, when they got to the island, the people had to follow Yaqub's laws, regardless of what he told them to do. They did it. You see what I'm saying? All of that is the grafting of the devil. And without that, you really don't got nothing. You just got some husbandry going on. You know what I'm saying? You got some husbandry going on and some light-skinned people. You see what I mean? You know, it's not just the complexions of the people, but also the mindsets of the people. You see what I'm saying? All of that is a part of the grafting process. You see what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with the 600 years, right? You said, do I know what an allele is? I do, because I studied a lot of y'all parrots who don't even know nothing you weren't told. I literally researched genetics. So you research something in genetics, right? When you research these alleles, right, and you research these polymorphisms, right? These polymorphisms that bring about change, right? What is the original state that these polymorphisms started to occur from? Like when they trace back the polymorphisms on these alleles to who is the original man, Who's that person? Is it a brown person or a black person? While we waiting on Almighty You Divine, Abdur Rahman, you made a statement about how you don't, see as many 5% around. You know what I mean? That's a lot of, it's not one reason for that. You know what I'm saying? You said, why did God say Father civilization in the student of Ronan, but the NOI don't? Because Allah put that in there. The question is, when they say, when you have the polymorphisms that appear on these alleles, you said you studied genetics, so you must have studied that the polymorphism that led to blonde hair and blue eyes, I'm pretty sure is 6,500 years old, right? Now, they can trace these polymorphisms back, and this is how they can, tell different things about your ancestry. So I'm saying, as they trace the polymorphisms back from the white people, where does it go back to? But yeah, Abdur Rahman, one of the reasons you don't see us out there is because the kids is all in the house playing games now. It's not like when I was, growing up, we was out there. So if you wanted to teach, okay, you said it goes back to the original man. Does it go back to only brown men? Only yellow men? Or does it go back to only, brown germs and yellow germs? Or does it trace back to black germs as well? You should watch the video from yesterday. We discussed the infamous UBD. But look, don't be concerned with that. There's people that's they negative. That's just in life. If you're from Jamaica, Queens, you know that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not something where we wake up in the morning like it's just a day. Like it's Tuesday. Yeah, we're giving out UBD. It's not. Like people are thinking, like, you know how much you got to do? You know how many times you got to not know your lessons? See, a lot of times what people saw, they saw something happen to somebody, but they didn't realize this person was bullshitting us for months. We told them, look, don't play with this. If you don't want to be this, bring our lessons back. We tried everything possible. And at some point, if they don't want to build, we don't know what else to do. you limit our options. do you divine? Just get back to those brothers. I'm not telling you not to settle your score or whatever you're doing in the comment section. But what I need to know is, do these polymorphisms trace back to black seeds? Did these polymorphisms start occurring from black seeds, or only brown seeds and yellow seeds? Like, can the colored man, right, through his alleles and polymorphisms, can he be traced back to black germs? So, you saying that yes, those alleles and polymorphisms do trace back to black germs. So what that means is that the devil was grafted from the black germ. That's where the polymorphisms begin to occur from, right? Is from those black germs and brown germs that exist within the original man's body. If you separate the black germ from the brown germ, even in this conversation you saying right now, you doing the same thing as Yakub. All of it is the same. That's how I got it. It say it's one body. You saying we saying two different things. Well, I don't know, Shane. I'll let you. But look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Y'all know we do commercials now. We're going to throw the little intro music on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a 5-minute break. I don't know, Almighty, you know what I'm saying? You saying a wolf ain't a pit. Yeah, but didn't, dogs, when you trace back the polymorphisms, right, that made all the different kinds of dogs, right, it traced back to a wolf. You see what I'm saying? Even though a pit might directly the pit might have been derived from two other dogs that they bred together. You know what I'm saying? You got different dogs where this dog smell good and this dog run fast, so they want to make a dog that hunt, and they bred those dogs together. So now you got this new type of dog, but they all originally trace back to the wolf. Yo, Sheila, I gotta call you when what's your name is over, because my phone, that's how I'm broadcasting right now. Your point, what you were saying, is simple. Well, you said that the colored man is not grafted from the black germ. I mean, you think what you want to think, but I've added some clarity there where people can see it. People could draw it up how they want to draw it up. But make no mistake about it. Okay, now now we on wild and domesticated. You know, can we just, you know, I just want to, we just talking about, yeah, but I'm saying that when you know, because you said you teach. So when you teaching, don't be telling people that, you know, you don't begin grafting from the black joint. Because, you know, that's like saying you don't start anything that you starting with the knowledge. Muhammad Mosque, I don't know nothing about Muhammad Mosque. I mean, I know where it's at. I know who needs to go over there. But, but in terms of what goes on inside, you saying it ain't no black devil. I mean, that's debatable. You know what I'm saying? But look, it's only God and devil on the planet Earth. And every dark-skinned nigga ain't me. You draw that up how you want. But I'm telling you, every dark-skinned nigga is not me. And, you know, where do you classify it? Like one thing I never heard, right, in all the history, I heard a lot of things. I never heard that a colored man left the projects on June 13th, 1969. You ever heard that? I never heard that. So, what would you say? What would you say about those individuals? What would you call them? I keep saying I gotta get the music. See, listen, Almighty. Well, look, I'm gonna let y'all go because see, you wanna argue with. I don't know if y'all got something going on because both of y'all name is Almighty. It's God Almighty and Almighty God. I can't get a point across right now because these two is going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right, Waju. I gotta get back to my JoJo dancing. You know. I'm just, you know. Nah, you ain't got no picture right there. Oh, this is a good brother divine right here. I was like, yeah, nah, you changed what's the name, and then you ain't got no picture and shit. Yeah, though, but yeah, those people. I mean, to me, look, anybody try to destroy me is the devil. I don't care who you know. And look, we will have to deal with them accordingly. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing is, uh, you're gonna know God by a set of actions. You're gonna know the devil by a set of actions too. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, Yakub is the father of the colored man, but he's not the father of devilishment. People authored, devilishment in on their own. And then Yakub, he just came with his experiment to illustrate it to everybody. See, like these different examples that I give, that's why I give you. Because see, when you in the situation, right? Sometimes it's hard for you to see what's going on. Yeah, that's why hindsight is always 20/20, because you get further and further away from the shit, and out of perspective, you can see everything. You know what I'm saying? But when you in a situation, you can't really tell. He said, "Is God body different than NGE?" Yeah, God body is just slang. See, what you gotta do, right, is actually meet somebody that's a 5%, so you can separate the propaganda. Why are the NGE allowed to smoke and drink and the NOI aren't? Because we're not subject to the restrictive law. See, we on our own, right, to do whatever we gotta do to make self-improvements. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, they go by what Elijah Muhammad teaches. You see what I'm saying? So as time goes on, we got a degree that says, why is Muhammad and any Muslim murder the devil? Right? So, we understand that that's about ideas that go contrary to us being successful at living out mathematics. You understand what I'm saying? And destroying the devil is eliminating these ideas from inside your own self. You see what I mean? Because you always the greatest opponent in whatever situation. You see what I mean? And you don't want to be adding on strength to your opponent, so you destroy all that negativity, whatever it is. If it's smoking and drinking to you, then you destroy that. You understand what I'm saying? If it's prostitution and gambling, then you destroy that. You see what I'm saying? But we not subject to the restrictive law of nobody. I just asked because I used to work with a 5% that was always kicking knowledge, drunk and high every day. Well, what did he impress you more with, right? The knowledge or the being drunk and high? Because see, that's the line right there. If he impressed you more with the being drunk and high, then he need to eliminate that. But see, you said he impressed you more with the knowledge. So is it just that you don't drink and smoke, so as soon as he drinks and smokes, he's drunk and high? Like back in the days, anything you smoked besides a cigarette was dope. If you was talking to a woman that was born before 1950, then whatever you're doing is dope. That's all. It's two things. There's liquor and it's dope. Yeah, This ain't dope, this is just weed. Yeah, that's what it is, dope. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got me, I already told y'all we going on break, man. I'll be back momentarily.